This is Joanne Allenbaugh reporting for Farms.com, and with me is Dr. Bob Morrison from the University of Minnesota. And Dr. Morrison, you've been talking about the PRRS Elimination program. Can you give us a quick update on how those programs are progressing?
Joanne, there's, I'm going to guess 20 or so odd programs around the country, and some in Canada and a couple in Mexico. And it really has exploded in the last 3 or 4 years from 1 to 20 and lots of more interest. And that's not to say that they're all achieving incredible success as much as there's I think a great deal of frustration with working with PRRS on your own. And so maybe let's try working together and see if we can make more progress. And at least some of the regions seem to be making nice progress.
I talked to you last fall up at Lehman, and at that point, you were learning a lot about the processes and what was working. What are some of the key factors that make a program successful in an area?
I think PRRS, we're going to keep learning. I don't know when we'll have all of the answers, perhaps never, but the key thing for regional projects is leadership. And that comes at the producer level and the local veterinarian level, encouraging producers to participate, number one, encouraging producers to get the testing done, to share the data, giving them confidence that they can do that. That's the key element. The second element for success of a project is somebody who's committed in terms of time, and that sometimes maybe they have to hire somebody to coordinate those projects. Those two elements, without those, I think it'll really struggle.
Well, and just having some momentum and some positive momentum, one success leads to another.
That's true, and also, if you start with a region where you're fairly confident, you've got local leadership, and you can accomplish success, then it'll grow, and so that's a fairly important place to start, where you can achieve success, you hope, and make it accomplishable, and then you'll have the regional folks on the outside saying, can we participate too?
One of the things that has helped programs be successful too is just learning more about the disease and the transmission of the disease. Talk about that a little bit if you would.
We've learned an enormous amount about PRRS, and the National Pork Board has been a huge provider of funds and technology in terms of getting that information out, in terms of producer education. PRRS.org has got a lot of information, as well as the National Pork Board site, in terms of what we've learned. But if you just look at the last, if you think back 5 years ago, we weren't even certain how we could eliminate the virus from sow farms. We know we can do that fairly predictably. Now we're aware of some problems that arise in some herds, and we're trying to study those herds. So there's an enormous amount being learned. There's an enormous amount available in terms of educational materials. And so I would encourage producers to talk to your local veterinarian if they're wondering about, where can I find this out? And the local veterinarian can talk to other members of AASV if they're unsure. But there's a real good network now. There's good educational material available, and there's a strong network of both producers that you can contact and veterinarians who will help.
And what was the website again? Just PRRS.com?
PRRS.org is the website, and that's supported by the National Pork Board and also the PRRS CAP Fund, which is a USDA fund.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate all your efforts. Thanks so much for visiting with us, Dr. Morrison.
Thank you, Joanne.